What's good, YouTube? It is your boy, Jogga Joe, ready to go with a special Backlash edition of What the Wrestling. And I know you guys, I know I've missed the past week. I didn't do a What the Wrestling episode for the last week. I think probably the last 2 weeks. I'm sorry. I've been transitioning. I've had to make a couple of cuts on my channel just due because of timing and things that I'm not able to do when I'm home like I was able to do when I was at school. But I will do my best to try and continue with the content and try to beef up my content as the weeks go by on my channel, hopefully. But we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about the whole pay per view. I'm going to start out. I'm actually not even going to start out with with my favorite part. I'm going to start out with the grade this week or this time. This time around, the pay per view honestly was a little underwhelming. I will be honest. They had a couple of good moments and a lot of disappointing moments. But overall, I will give them an 80, which is a B, C in some areas, or in some schools, I guess 80 is a C in some grade systems. But yeah, it was a little bit disappointing. It had potential to do a lot better than it did. But we're gonna get into it. I'm gonna show you talk about why I gave it an 80 and what could have been better. Uh, First off, in the pre-show, we had Ty Dillinger beating Aiden English. These two guys, we've seen it on SmackDown, but honestly, I never get tired of watching these guys fight. They have, in my opinion, they have really good chemistry together. Like, they work well together. I hope, honestly, that they both get solo runs later as far as like, oh, Ty will go on to do something with the United States Championship. Oh, Aiden will go on to have like a rivalry with Dolph Ziggler or something. Like, I hope they get to do things away from each other and it doesn't become those two facing off all the time like it was Ty and Eric Young in NXT. But like I said, it was a good match. Ty beating Aiden with the new version of his tiebreaker. I never would have thought that that would be his tiebreaker. That would be how he does it on the main roster. But I get it. It's what happened. Yeah. To start the actual main card, we had Shinsuke versus Dolph Ziggler. Uh, I'm gonna be honest. For all of the hype and build-up that they had for this match, it did not do what it was supposed to do. Maybe it was because it was the first match of the night. Maybe it was because there could have been more that they could have done with the match. I just feel like they had a lot they could have done and it just didn't work. Yeah, was it a good match? Yes, it was a good match. I will give it a solid 3 stars. But I don't see it as something that could continue. Will they probably continue? Will they probably have another match where Dolph will probably do some underhanded tricky tactic to win? Probably. Which means that they do have chances to redeem themselves. But for this first match, it was just 3 stars, a good match. It shouldn't have been the opening match though. It shouldn't have been. You'll hear me say more about what I think should have been the opening match. But yeah, that's what that was. It could have been better. It could have been. Oh well. Uh, Next we have the Usos versus the Fashion Police. And really, I'm not upset with the match or the placement of the match because they kind of had this. They had to kind of separate the title matches. All three of SmackDown's titles were up for grabs this night, and I feel like it was a good it was a good match for the amount of build up that they had, and you know how they had like the fashion files the past couple of weeks, which have been phenomenal. I hope they do that. Not for every rivalry they have, but I hope they definitely pull it out uh, on a good time every now and again. I hope because that was fun. That was something that really got them to be crowd likable by the crowd, and that's something that really is going to get them over with the crowds more. Is just like the silliness that they can bring to the party because while they both I've seen it, they both can be fantastic workers, they both can be really serious workers when they want to be, is going to be the silliness overall that's going to get them pushed and will eventually get them a title run. But like I was saying, they was a good match overall. Like they came out with like they had like the mob who being like a janitor and like the other one had a dress. It was a weird. It was definitely a comedic match, but it was a good one. It was a good comedic match. That was definitely a 3.5, potentially a 4-star match. I enjoyed it, but the Usos, yeah, they got the win. I saw it coming. The Usos were going to get the win. What I'm really nervous about at this point, I'm nervous about where they're going to go as far as the tag team division because they've really been lacking. The SmackDown tag team division as well as the women division. We'll get to that in a minute, but yeah, they really have been lacking recently. American Alpha, nobody's seen them since they lost a couple of weeks ago. Who else? The Ascension. I'd like to see something with them. They seemed like they were gonna win the tag team titles a little while ago. The Cologne. They have potential to be great and possibly even bring back Carlito to be a part of them, to have like a legendary stable. That would be great. I'd love it, but you know it happens. But yeah, I hope they do more with the tag team division. They're doing the best they can with a 2-hour show, but they need to do better. They do. I can just say that now. But either way, we're gonna keep moving. We're gonna keep moving to Sami Zayn versus Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin has been doing a great job recently as being that guy that's kind of like, screw you, I do what I want. If you don't give me what I want, I'm gonna hurt you. I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna bash you. And Sami Zayn won. Like that was the most odd thing. Like Sami Zayn won clean, center of the ring. Why? What purpose is there for him to do this? He's not about to get. He's not about to have a U.S. title run. He's not about to go into a feud with Kevin Owens because AJ Styles is still doing that. We'll get to that later, but I just have to say that. Like, there's nothing that can come from that is there for. Like, honestly, we have nothing really that could come from this. Baron Corbin needed this win a lot more than Sami Zayn because Sami Zayn knows how to lose and still have momentum. At this point, nobody is doubting whether or not Sami Zayn could take a loss and keep going because he can. Baron Corbin, on the other hand, he can't take a loss right now because he's trying to come across as he's kind of trying to come across as like like a Braun Strowman, only not as big. Like he's trying to come across as that guy that's like, I'm indestructible. I can beat you if I want to. I do what I want when I want because I can, and I can muscle my way through. And it really looks bad on Baron Corbin's part, or on WWE trying to make Baron Corbin look good when you have him do stuff like this. Like like that's so odd that you would do something like that when you know what could happen, what you could have. I guess is because they're not really big on having heels as or like top heels run companies, which is so odd because you know what's happening. But like I said, it should have Barrett should have won, point blank. Period. He definitely he needed to win. That's really it took a lot of wind out of my sail to as somebody who was watching this to see Baron lose when definitely over the past couple of weeks he's been that real dominant factor on SmackDown. But it is something that they're gonna have to live with. They're gonna keep it. They're gonna have to figure out a way to fix it. We'll see what's gonna happen soon. Hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully it'll be better. Next we have the Welcoming Committee versus the 3-woman team of Naomi, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch. I probably have the most to say about this because this really pissed me off. Like, the WWE claims they want women to be at the forefront. They want women to be able to have stuff as much as men. They want women to be able to have the spotlight as much as men. But when you do shit like this, when you do crap like this, it really draws back because it's like if you really want to, then why is your entire women's division all in one match? And it's not even for the title. It's a tag match. All of them. What are y'all doing? Like a couple of weeks ago, a little bit over a month ago, all of the women on SmackDown were fighting for the title at WrestleMania. That is the kind of thing. Okay, cool. If you're gonna have all of the women together in one match, let it be for the title. Let it be something like that. Don't let it be a stupid six-man, six-woman match that doesn't even need to be there. Like seriously, that was the dumbest thing. And on top of dumb decisions that they decided to make, they had the welcoming committee win the match. What is that? They don't need that. They had so many options they could have done. Like, oh, if the other team would have won, not the welcoming committee, they could have had Charlotte attack Becky Lynch and Naomi and let her go back to her heel thing because they need to do that. Charlotte is barely good as a heel or is barely good at the face. She needs to be a heel. She's not good on the mic. Her heel work does make it better. She needs an advocate. She really does. I hope she becomes the first Paul Heyman girl because or woman because she needs it. She really needs it. She is not good on the mic. She needs somebody. But yes, they could have done so much. They could have done so many match options. Like had Becky Lynch versus Carmella with all of them just surrounding the ring as far as like in their corner. That would have been something. Or they could have had like Naomi versus Natalia for the title. But they all of them are like in the corner waiting for them. You know, they could have done so much with it, and it was so disappointing because honestly, I'm I like to think of myself as a feminist. I am all for the equality of women. I am all for women getting to do and having as much as the men, which means you got to do better with them. You have to let them do more. You can't just let them you can't just put them all in a match and say that that's what they're doing. That's the equality. You have to let them have time on their own to actually grow and move. That doesn't do good for them. That doesn't make them look like they're actually getting to profit or they're actually getting to have some spotlight time like the men. It doesn't. When you put them all in a match, when you lump them all in a match like that, it does nothing for them. It does nothing for the fans because honestly, at one point, I was one of the biggest fans of Tamina. I was one of the biggest fans of Becky Lynch. I love to see when they get one-on-one time, when they get even hell 2-on-2 time. But a six-man, six-woman match did not need to happen. That was the dumbest decision they could have made, and really, it's what dropped my score of them. It's what dropped my score of Backlash down like 10, 12 points because of just how stupid it seemed. You didn't need to do this. The welcoming committee is a dumb idea. It really is. But hopefully they'll fix their decision. Hopefully they'll fix this in the next couple of weeks because they really need to. But we'll see. Uh, Next we had Kevin Owens versus AJ Styles for the United States Championship. The first of many matches, of course. They're gonna have some more matches, especially with the finish. I'm just gonna kind of go ahead and spoil it if you haven't already seen it. The finish of the match was Kevin Owens got the win, but only by countout because he played on the leg injury of AJ Styles, and he actually got him trapped outside with the announce table. He kind of like put his foot or leg through the hole in the announce table where I guess the monitor would go, and he got stuck and lost by countout. And it was just really good. This was match. This was definitely match of the night, honestly. Even with the WWE Championship match, and I'll get into that. Don't worry, I will be getting into that. Yeah, it was match of the night. They definitely have good chemistry. They have a lot of good things that can come between the two of them. Both of them have worked with John Cena. Both of them have worked with Chris Jericho. We've seen what they can do with veterans like John Cena and Chris Jericho. We know how well they can work. We see it. We know they can do it. I know they can do it. I love what they're doing because they're not giving us all of what they can do at once. They definitely had a good and powerful match. Definitely. But they didn't give us everything they had, which means there's more to come, and I really enjoy that. I really do. So I'm honestly going to keep this one short and sweet. Match of the night, I loved it. Kevin Owens got the win. He looked like a freaking good heel. He looked like the dastardly, dirty heel doing anything it takes to keep his title, and I enjoy it. I hope we get to see a lot more of this. Honestly, I would not be mad if they continued to push these two for the U.S. title all the way down to SummerSlam. Probably won't be, but you know. Next we have Luke versus Eric. This match right here really should have been the opening match of the night, if not the pre-show. Just simply because we kind of just I don't know if I'm the only one who feels this, but these two definitely have drawn out as far as one-on-one competition. They could have done so much more. Like there should have been a gimmick match between the two of these guys. Like last man standing or something. Just having them in a normal match after we've seen it so much. And I know it's kind of saying a lot, especially since I've done I said I like to watch Ty and Aiden earlier, and they've done a lot of matches. But Luke and Eric, they don't need to be one on one. They do better at the tag team, but it is what it is. You know, Luke is on his face run. Eric is on his heel. I have a goat mask and I draw power from it. Uh, this was another one of those matches that really disappointed me and that really got under my skin as far as this could have been better. They could have done better. I wanted more from this, but they didn't give it to me. Hopefully, they'll give me more later, honestly, but we'll have to see. Uh, I just hope there's more coming from the two of them. Either that or they let them go their separate ways and they don't fight. Unless, if they're going to fight each other again, let it be for something important. Like, they're the next number one contender for the WWE Championship or something meaningful. Let it be meaningful. They don't. They honestly doesn't feel like they have a meaningful fight right now. It doesn't. It doesn't. It seems like they don't have anything meaningful to fight for at this point. It just seems like, oh, we're fighting because we can. Everybody else on the show so far seemingly seemed like they had something, even though the match might not have been very good. They seemed like they had something that we're fighting for, like Shinsuke and Dolph. Dolph didn't like the fact that he was just some new guy coming in who was getting all of the attention. The Usos, with their title match, they didn't like the Fashion Police. They don't like the Fashion Police. I love them, but whatever. Sammy and Baron. Sammy doesn't like the fact that Baron's basically using Sammy as a stepping stone to get to the next part of his career. But I love it. Again, the welcoming committee doesn't like the fact that Charlotte was able to come in and get a title shot so quickly. But I mean, they're basically making her the female John Cena. What do you expect? But you know, it happened. Yeah, Luke ended up getting the win after the discus clothesline. That, of course, you had to know it was gonna happen. Yeah, that's that. That was up and down as far as the match. There it is. Uh, Next we get to our main event, and before I even get into some of the details of it, let me just say, the Maharaja is here, and he is your WWE champion. I love that so much. I do. I love it. And I know I can be called a bandwagon. I can be called a bandwagon fan at this point. I can because I didn't really jump on. Well, actually, I can't because I jumped on the uh, Jinder Mahal fan wagon when he first came back some months ago because I saw his physique and I saw how well he had improved from when he was a part of 3MB, which honestly we all knew at some point. Well, I didn't. My friend Alex, he knew at some point. He never lost faith that all of the members of 3MB would eventually get gold or a championship. We can't really say gold at this point. Heath Slater ended up getting the tag team championship. Freaking Jinder Mahal, the Maharaja, he is the WWE champion. Now we're just waiting on Drew McIntyre, who is back in the WWE. He's NXT right now. Once he gets the NXT title, he's gonna come back. He's gonna be the Intercontinental title championship holder. I already know it. I'm calling it. I want it to go on record. I'm saying that right now. Drew McIntyre will be Intercontinental Championship title, Intercontinental Champion again one day. I'm calling it right now. But either way, the Maharaja, I love it. Randy Orton, wow. Randy, I think this was one of your best matches so far this year. And I know that isn't saying much because you haven't been in a lot of matches this year, but this was one of your best so far. In the fact that you showed a side of you that we don't see too often. Like you attacked Jinder before the match. You got a lot of good offense in. You did some of your same spots that you usually do, like the DDT through the middle rope. I'm being a little nitpicky about it because he's such a veteran, but it feels like he kind of goes through the motion in his matches. But you know what? He made a comment about it. He made a comment about it on Twitter. When you get the amount of money you do, you can afford to do what you want, or you can afford to go through the motions and not put yourself in risk when you know what works. But I thought this was a really good match. Randy attacked Jinder before the match even got started, showing just how vicious he could be. Went on to attack the Singh brothers after the match got started. The Singh brothers definitely played a part. They never let it be known. Like some people were trying to say, "Oh, he can get disqualified." Da, 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 da. But it's just like, no, not really. Randy attacked the Singh brothers. The Singh brothers never attacked Randy. That's how it works. You have to be attacked from an outside source for the match to get thrown out. He attacked them. They never got any offense on Randy. But they ended up, long story short of this match, they ended up causing the distraction that Jinder Mahal was able to get the distraction. He was able to do the Cobra Clutch Slam, and that was it. And I loved it. The Maharaja, I'm a fan. I want him to have a lengthy push. A lot of people are, he does have a lot of fans. He does. He has a lot of support, especially last night during the match. There was the "Let's Go Gender" chants. Of course, it was coupled with these "Gender Sucks" chant, but that's what happened. Especially when you're that good, you're a good superstar. I love the push that they gave him. I love the just the amount of work that he's put in over the past month and a half to really grow and get to this point. I see him as a main event person. And of course nowadays, you can't do anything but see him as a main event person because he is the WWE champion. I love that. And I will never get tired of saying Jinder Mahal is the WWE champion. Oh, that just feels good to say. But that is my What the Wrestling Backlash reaction, I guess, what's the word, review. Like I said, it got an 80 as a score because of the matches like the Welcoming Committee, Luke versus Eric, Shinsuke versus Dolph did have a few points, did make a few points get docked from the score just because of how just it could have been better and it could have been further down or further up on the card, I guess. Further down on the card. I don't know which one really. But yeah, this 80. But overall I did enjoy Backlash. I'm looking forward to their next. I think Money in the Bank is their next pay-per-view. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, nothing left to do now but watch SmackDown, watch Raw tonight, and keep going. Extreme Rules is coming up. We're gonna get into that in a later video. But like I said, you guys, that's it for the Backlash review. If you guys enjoyed this review, give me a thumbs up down below. Comment how you enjoyed Backlash, what you thought of it, what you think of the matches, what you think of Jinder Mahal being champion. You can tweet to me at jogger_Joe with two E's, Joee. Uh, yeah, share this video. Share this with anybody you know that loves wrestling. Because sharing is truly caring. Subscribe to me if you haven't already, because if you haven't already subscribed to me, you're just not doing life correctly. I will see you guys later. I will probably see you guys tomorrow. In fact, I will see you guys tomorrow for another edition of Pokemon Leaf Green Randomized Nuzlocke Challenge. Be looking out this week. I don't want to spoil anything, but I have some new videos coming to the channel. I know I've said that before, but I really do this time. I have some more content that is coming. I will be doing some new videos thanks to my amazing brother who actually doesn't even know I have this channel. He got me a new game. I will be using it. I will be having a gameplay of it coming shortly, probably this week, hopefully no later than Thursday. I'm not going to spoil what it is, but you guys are going to love it. But with that, I will see you guys later. Holla at your boy. Peace.